What's up, everyone? Thanks a lot for tuning in today. And yeah, this is just gonna be a little short video. It's just about a little. It's not confirmed or anything, but Tony Ferguson called out Nate Diaz, and usually I never kind of pay attention to any, like things that aren't confirmed or just people calling people out. But I actually think that's probably the only fight that Nate would take apart from the McGregor fight. I can't really see anyone else who make as big of a fight as that, apart from maybe Khabib, but his Ramadan starts soon, so he can't fight until the end of the year anyway. So, um, yeah, I'm guessing that this fight is gonna happen between Tony and Nate. So I just kind of want to give everyone my kind of little 2 cents on the fight. Um, I'm gonna say who I think will win first. I think Tony is gonna win. Now, this is if the fight happens. So yeah, so but yeah, I think Tony's gonna win. And funny enough, I actually think he's gonna tap Nate. Now Nate has only been tapped. Um, I think he's only been tapped once, and that must have been like 2004, 2006 maybe. I mean, this is way before he got his black belt and way before, you know, just you can see how much of a different fighter Nate is now, especially if you watch probably my favorite, not my favorite fight, but my favorite performance by somebody ever, and it was only one round. Is Nate Diaz against Takanori Gomi. If you just go and watch that fight, if you have Fight Pass or just I don't know, watch it on YouTube or something, maybe I think it's probably up there. Um, Nate that it was kind of the most well rounded fight like performance by one fighter ever. Like he he knocks him down. He's just he doesn't. I don't think Nate missed one shot in that whole fight on Gomi. Just tagged him with every single shot he landed, and then got it to the ground, and then just like transitions in between the triangle and an armbar like four times while Gomi is trying to escape, and eventually he just transitions to an armbar at the end and just taps him straight away. But yeah, that was probably like the smoothest, like well rounded fight by any fighter probably in one fight, including like every different aspect of fighting. But yeah, I mean you're looking at Tony Ferguson now as well, and you have to remember the even though he's a brown belt in jiu jitsu, he's a brown belt in 10th Planet jiu jitsu, which is completely different. That's Eddie Bravo. I don't know if you guys know Eddie Bravo. He's I personally think it's 10 Planets Jiu Jitsu is better than Gracie Jiu Jitsu. I love Gracie Jiu Jitsu. Like I love watching it. Again, I haven't done it. I'm talking about watching it here. But yeah, I really like it. But I really think that 10 Planet and Eddie Bravo is doing. He's gone really well with EBI and his events. And see the difference is it's kind of 10 Planet is more it's more attacking. So there's different rule sets like in kind of Gracie in regular jiu-jitsu matches. The fights go on they go on for I don't even know how long it can go on for ages though. It's like it can go on for like an hour I think. And if no one taps each other, if there's no submission, it's a draw. So every jiu-jitsu match is just like a draw. Whereas with EBI rules, Eddie Bravo Invitational rules, um, it's all geared towards like there's a very short time limit. I think it might be 15 minutes, which is short for jiu-jitsu. Um, it might be 10 minutes. I'm not sure, but yes, it's geared towards finishing the fight, and then there's a lot of different rules at the end. If nobody's submitted somebody by the end of the fight, then um, yeah, if nobody submitted somebody, then they go to like an overtime, and then they'll put like one fighter, they'll put the two fighters into a position where one fighter is like vulnerable, and then there's a lot of things basically whoever escapes faster, and then whoever escaped every there's a lot of different things, so someone will win. Um, So yeah, I think it makes jiu-jitsu a lot more attacking. But yeah, and the upcoming EBI event, I'm pretty sure it's the upcoming one. If not, it's the one after that. But they're after introducing palm strikes, so you can slap your opponents now. So you might be able to win. Well, like it is possible to win by like KO now or TKO. Uh, so that'll be really interesting to see because it involves kind of it adds a lot of danger to it where in a lot of transitions you're rolling and there's no kind of danger of being hit, whereas even if it's a slap, if you slap someone, like you might say, oh well, it's only a slap, but if you slap someone 100 times they it's gonna hurt. If you slap someone twice, it's gonna hurt. But yeah, so that's kind of where I'm looking at it from the jiu-jitsu side of things. I think kind of if you look at Tony's jiu-jitsu, I think he has like four submissions out of his last maybe six fights. He's on a 9 fight win streak, which is unbelievable for the UFC, and especially in that 155 division where just everybody is in the division. They're just all amazing. Um, Nate is obviously coming off that loss to McGregor, the second in the rematch. And before that, he fought. Obviously, he beat McGregor. He got tagged in the first round, but he looked really good in the second round when he landed that shot on McGregor. And before that, he looked like Anderson Silva. And there's a lot of fighters that look like Anderson Silva sometimes. Like just when you're watching them, and well, maybe not look like Anderson Silva, but I mean, when you're watching them and you're like, how is he doing this? Like, I don't know, but yeah, that fight against Michael Johnson, I feel bad for Michael Johnson. Nate just made a show of him over 3 rounds, and then what Khabib did, I think, yeah, he knocked out Poirier then after that, but the beating Khabib gave him was, oh my god. I probably talked about that in the last thing actually, but yeah, so onto the kind of striking part, I think Nate will outdo Tony sorry, I think Tony will get it to the ground. I think Tony's wrestling will beat Nate. If you look at Nate, he it's very hard for him to get a takedown. He's kind of he does be heavy on that front leg, as everyone says. Like it's kind of everyone's like, oh no, he's gonna lose because someone will leg kick him. That's not really like no, you can't really just say that. I mean, you can. There's nothing wrong with having your lead leg forward, unless you don't do anything about it. So, if you're checking kicks, if you can keep your lead leg forward for the whole fight, if you're checking kicks, I mean they're gonna stop kicking it, or else they're gonna have to try and do something. But yeah, like I mean that's kind of another thing that Eddie Bravo's that 10 Planets Jiu-Jitsu kind of takes in stuff like that. There's no kind of wrong places to be in jiu-jitsu, kind of according to that. So if you're in a horrible position, it's not, oh no, I need to get out of this. It's, oh no, what do I need to do next to submit him? What do I need to do? I mean, I'm on my back. I'm about to get tapped, but how do I get out of this fast? But the getting out of it isn't important. It's the what will I do next in this kind of move, in this chain of moves. Um, but yeah, I think Tony is going to be able to take Nate down. Some people don't. They both come in pretty heavy. I'd say they're both going to be weighing about 185 to 190 on the night of the fight if it happens. Again, not confirmed. I know I've said that a few times, but I just want to make sure everyone knows that it's not like a confirmed fight. But yeah, I do. I think Tony is going to do that. But before that happens, I think it's going to be a really exciting fight. Maybe for the first few minutes, it could be. I can't see the fight going 5 rounds. I can see they can both go 5 rounds, but I think with the level of talent they have, and I think they're gonna be too. I think their ego will get to them, not in a bad way though. I think they're gonna put it all out there. They're gonna go put everything out there and just go for it. So my one problem with Tony, and I love Tony, but he does get hit a lot. And if you look at any of his fights, if you look at the Lando Venata fight from Tony, or even did he get hit much in the Josh Thompson fight? Josh Thompson actually, that's the yeah. So Tony went 3 rounds with Josh Thompson, and this was back a good few years ago. It was in the win streak though he has now. He butchered Josh Thompson's face. He was just elbowing him for the 3 rounds. But he does kind of, because he's kind of so, when he's striking, he gets in so close. He does leave himself open to getting hit, and he does get hit. If you watch the Lando Venata fight, and it was Lando Venata's debut, and you just seen his fight at UFC 209, where he looked really good, but he just couldn't he hadn't got the kind of finesse. He can do all the kind of flashy stuff, which looks great, and he does have a really good kind of a good boxing skills, and when he gets onto the ground, he's not too comfortable, but he kind of knows what to do. He knows how to get out of things, but yeah, like, so it's, what I mean is, we're not talking about, like, Nate Diaz boxing talent. We're talking about someone with less boxing talent and less. I wouldn't say less footwork. I'd say Vanata maybe has more footwork than Nate, but it's not really about the footwork with him. It's more about the kind of the more technical parts of boxing, like actual boxing, not MMA boxing. And there's like a big difference between the two. So Tony can come at you from anywhere, whereas Nate he's gonna hit you from the places that he's gonna hit you from. So you're gonna look at him and say he's gonna go for this punch, and he'll throw that punch, but he'll land it, you know. And when Tony comes in with crazy elbows, it will be bloody. Both of them, if it happens, it will be very bloody, because Tony's just gonna land one elbow straight away and just cut Nate open where on his eye where he always bleeds, and then Tony just loves blood, so Tony's probably got to cut himself somehow. Um, but yeah, I think Nate will kind of take it on the feet, and then Tony will just say, kind of, okay, let's get this to the ground. I'm gonna prove that I can tap Nate Diaz. But I don't know. Let me know what everyone thinks in the comments. A few of you did comment, in the last video. A few of you were saying, like, oh, Chris Weidman doesn't train at AKA and stuff like that. But I can't get if I don't have notes in front of me, so there's little things that I might say that aren't true, but just that I forgot, or I got mixed up with, or I just have a lot of names going through my head, or I'm trying to think what I'm gonna say in the next few minutes. But yeah, so I'm gonna just end it off at that. I don't want to make it too long. It's only 12 minutes. I don't want to be taking like. Oh, well, I won't say that actually, because I'm planning on doing pretty long, like, podcasts, just having a chat about random shit. But, well, mostly about fighting. But, yeah, I'm going to leave it at that. So, I'm going to go with Tony by submission in, I want to say, the third round, if this fight happens. Hopefully it does. This is a really good fight. And then the winner, obviously, to face McGregor after he fights Mayweather. So, and I think that fight might actually happen, that Mayweather Conor fight. There's a few things, like, things with David Haye and Jimmy Manuwa, and there's a lot of boxers and MMA fighters starting to build it up, So we'll see what happens. But I'd love to see Conor fight Tony. I'd rather see that fight than the third fight against Nate. I really want to see the third fight against Nate. But I need to see Tony fight for a belt. Like, just look at any of Tony's fights, and it's like, you can't say you didn't enjoy it. And the same with Nate. Nate always has great fights. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Tony. I'm gonna just leave it at that. Thanks a lot for watching. If you did, if you only watched it for a minute, thank you as well. And yeah, that's gonna be it. So cheers. Thanks a lot, and see you.